Hello, everyone. I am the brokenly hearted poetic devil dog. I talk about a lot of things here on this channel, or in general sense. I want to talk about, again, once more, mental health awareness and the general broad spectrum of the subject regarding how to overcome it and how difficult it can be, along with dealing with toxic relationships and trying to figure out how to get away from them. Let's first start with the depression and mental illness. As for myself, I deal with a variety of mental illnesses that are not completely debilitating, but they can be. They do hinder me quite a bit. They have a tendency to cause interpersonal relationships, connections with other people, and such things. So, I can acknowledge that I have this. And that's a difficult thing for a lot of people to do. Not everyone, but there's a majority of people that cannot address or acknowledge that they have a problem with mental illnesses that hinder them from living their daily lives. They mask it with vices and devices and crutches and fair weather fans and addictions and such things. And they deny it. They just say, "Oh, there's no elephant in the room. There's just natural order of life, or that it will go away." And they don't deal with it or cope with it, and so they're left to suffer in immense amount of ways. And they usually that winds up outlashing people, attacking them, but in the opposite turn of that thing, when you do address it and you do know it, and you do realize who you are, and you can address and be self-aware of what is wrong with you or what is right with you, it is also fish food for toxic people and narcissists. It is also a means for you to become very vulnerable and very emotionally vulnerable to attacks from others. Being taken advantage of, being railroaded, being ignored, verbally abused, disregarded, belittled, talked down to, demeanored, second guessed. And I say this from personal experience. Because of my selfless, trusting nature with an immense amount of need to fix people or resolve issues within what I think is problematic individuals, I have been taken advantage of. I have been betrayed. I have been emotionally drained by narcissists and emotional vampires. I have been talked down to, belittled, demeanored, second guessed, and a whole lot of other things, and as well as taken advantage of. But in that same sense, despite knowing that I know these things, I still fall prey to it. Because as also part of this disorder that I have, I am a glutton for emotional abuse. And it's a problem. And I'm working on it. Now, like every problem, there's a solution. But with mental health illnesses, it's not a solution. It's a work in progress. It's working constantly to fix, repair, readjust, reacclimate, and be more adaptable to your ever-changing work in progress mental health working in progress, to fix that, or to not fix, to readjust, because there is no solution, there is no cure-all for mental illness. There is no let's take some meds, take some therapy for a couple of years, and or whatever, and boof, it's gone, light switches off, it's better. No. So on top of all this is what leads into the other conversation. With this being said, people like myself who are in very similar situations, or very similar personality types, or personification types, or however you want to word it, I consider it a personality type, I consider it a quirk, and I consider it who I am. And because of that, I am prone to narcissists, toxic people, and emotional vampires. and people who like to take advantage of other people. I've had a lot of fair-weather friends, inconvenient friends. I've had people that just get in my life so they can take the better advantage of me. And the sad part is when I realize it and I finally stop letting them do it, I suddenly become the person I hate the most. The monster within me. The true, unbridled, untethered rage monster who holds nothing back. Who literally holds nothing remorse. It could be truth or just simply scalpel words to cut into somebody. I have no empathy at that point. I'm apathetic and I am self-aware but don't care. And I hate that part of myself. Now we all have a similar part of ourselves that we turn to at times. Not all of us, and not right away. It's more of a based upon individualization, person by person. Now, as for this issue, those who are in similarities or have similar problems, similar issues, similar ongoings, or thoughts, or issues, for those who do, I want to say this to you. Everyone out there who is, like I said, going through, dealing, or is in the midst of this uncertainty period of their life, whether they're with an emotional vampire, a narcissist, a toxic person, whether they're friends, or whatever, or they're just dealing with mental illness that are hindering them from living and they're not aware of it, or they're not willing to address it. However it is, I want to give you these words of encouragement. And I know this has probably been said 1,000 times, on 1,000 videos, and 1,000 inspirational quotes, by 1,000 different people probably. So, this is no news. This is nothing new. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to lie in your bed if you're feeling despondent, if you're feeling completely out of your sorts of normality, and if you don't feel like doing anything, it's okay to make that bed feel like your mausoleum. It's okay to have your each chair be the monument of your depression, to be the monument of your hopelessness, your despair, but it's not okay to continually and permanently let those things be as such. You need to arise every so often and face the demons. No matter how battered, how bloodied, how bruised you are, no matter how overwhelming it is, you need to rise up. Broken, battered, and beaten. Rise up from the ashes. Rise up from the embers and show the world the flame of your determination, your tenacity, your will to survive, adapt, improvise, and overcome, your diversity, your mental illnesses, your situations, your toxic and narcissistic emotional vampire relationships, fair weather friends, etc. Disconnect, sever the ties, do what you need to help you and you alone. Stop. For a moment there, stop trying to fix people. Stop trying to be over-invested in trying to look for attention and the affection from others. Seek it from within self. Find those who are willing to accept the quirks, the weirdness, the darkness, the crazies, the aspect of yourself, and those who can read you. Those who can see that you're struggling and connect with you, instead of you going out of your way to connect with them. And they're like, oh, you know what, I don't got time, I'm busy. And then when you're busy and you're doing things, they want you to drop everything you're doing to come help them. Stop doing that. Stop letting people come into your life and take advantage of who you are and everything you have. Reserve all of that goodness, that kindness, that selflessness for the right person or people who actually share the same qualities. Not completely, because, as they say, opposites do attract, and sometimes getting too much of this good thing at once can be overwhelming. But it's also not a bad thing. And I know, let me make this very clear, I'm not expecting this to be a light switch moment. I'm not expecting you to flip a switch and everything just goes the way I mentioned. No. It is going to be the most painstaking, gut-wrenching, nerve-wracking, mind-fucking, back break. It's just going to be screwed up, really. It's going to be long and tedious, and you're going to cry, you're going to weep, you're going to want to just give up, and you're going to keep going through this whole cycle. It's not going to stop. It's not going to have a moment of pausing. It's not going to be unrelenting. It's going to be merciless, relenting, unyielding, and it will not be easy. But the more and more you're willing to acknowledge and address and try to deal with it and adapt, improvise, and overcome, and try to go through these steps, you're going to fall, get back up, fall, get back up. You're going to hit the ground, bounce back up. When life and people knock you down, you got to get back up and wipe the blood tears off and say you hit like a bitch and fight back with everything you have to become a better person without the kudos from others, without the affection of others. Sometimes you just need one good person, a friend, a lover, in your life to show you, to help you, to guide you through those moments. I would rather eat crumbs with bums than eat steaks with snakes, to be honest with you. And it's a weird quote, and I probably think you've heard it before, but it's how I feel. And I think that in my life, I have come to this point, to this fork in the road. And I think I've decided which part of the road I'm going to go down. And it's neither or. I have decided to carve my own path. And it has cost me friendships. It has got me awkward stares. It has got me pretty alone. But I am willing to... I have removed elements and people out of my life. And I'm not completely out of that woods yet. I got one last person and element I got to remove before I can officially start that that official process. But it's not easy, I'll tell you this. And this is why I say it's never, it's 4 years. And it's a process which I've been struggling with. It is not a good feat. I have wanted to give up. I wanted to shed my mortal coils. I've been despondent beyond all belief, beyond fathomability. I have literally wept myself to sleep. I have contemplated what to do and why I should keep going with the narcissist that I'm with. And this leads to the next conversation, that if you are in these relationships, friendship or otherwise, dating, etc., and you find yourself in an impossible situation to get out. It is. Maybe it's because you love the person too much and you don't want to give up on them. Maybe it's because you're afraid of abandonment, the fear of it. Or maybe it's because no matter what you do, try to run away or try to get away, the toxic emotional vampire or narcissist will not ever truly go away. They keep finding ways to weave themselves back into your life, causing you to be hindered and heavy with depression and sadness and overwhelming thoughts of, am I good enough? Am I worthy enough? Am I truly in this relationship, or am I just the one causing the problems, etc.? And this is something that I myself struggle with. It is not an easy defeat. It is not an easy thing to go through. But I'm here to tell you that in due time, in gradual due time, things will and shall get better. Not 100%, maybe not in 50%, but there'll be moments of sunshine, and I suggest you take them. I suggest you take whatever moments you can, beg, borrow, and steal whatever moments of sunshine you can get. If you're able to obtain happiness in the means of loneliness, then do so. If you're able to obtain happiness amongst people for brief interludes, then do so. If you find joy in shows, music, or writing, or artwork, do so. Do what makes you happy. Find happiness within yourself. Find love within yourself. Find hope within yourself and the things that make you who you are, that bring you self-pride. In a time when there is a stronger version of yourself, not a 100% repaired version of yourself, not a former glory of your laughter and happy-go-lucky days of your younger self, but a person of you who has understood that pain is not a weakness. It is not an anchor. It is not a means to an end. It is not the torture that must make you suffer. It is the life coach to make you go forward. It is the flames of inspiration. It is the fuel to the fire to live every day. It is the vision to which is only who you used to be. Pain is temporary. Life and living and experiences is forever. Your scars, whether visible or invisible, are roadmaps and battle scars to which you should be proud of. And they are roadmaps to where you've been, who you've been, and where you're going. Your struggles, your hopelessness, your moments of uncertainty are only that of a brief interlude, of a temporary detour in life. They are not the means to which you need to dwell on, to simmer and become pruned in. Understand that nothing is permanent. Even the suffering and the pain and the despondency you're going through right now is temporary. Depression, mental illness, that's forever. That's going to be there. But it's not a reason to stop living. It's not a reason to give up. It's not a reason to use it as a crutch, a vice, or a defense mechanism. It's a reason for you to be aware that there are not labels, but cornerstones of how to identify of what is truly, what might be wrong with you. Live life to the fullest. Let go of what you cannot control. Let things flow naturally. Adapt, improvise, and overcome. And deal with come what may. Because in my years, and as long as I've been around, I can say this with most certainty, that there is times in your life where you do not know. And that's okay. You may be dealing with... Sorry, my cat is up here. I apologize, folks. This is an unusual interruption. I'm sorry. I apologize. There is going to be moments where things go wrong. And as I was saying, do not let life and little things get you down. Things will eventually get better. And things like this that I'm holding, what really are the true friends in your life. They're the things that really love you, no matter what. As long as you feed them and pet them and give them love. Alright, well, this is me, ToJo, signing out, saying good night, good day, and don't give up.